Everybody, are you fighting me already? Okay. So you're welcome to the second day of Robotics Edition 1.0. What should we do? This shout also. All right. Anyways, so you're welcome back today. I hope it's been. So I hope it's been an interesting experience so far. Even though it's just spent like 6 hours together so far, right? Okay, has it been interesting? Has it been interesting? Are you getting something? Are you getting something valuable? All right, so I'm happy to have you all around today. This is going to be another, really fast experience because hopefully you only have one hands-on session. Because we are going to be having 3 hands-on sessions. Is that great news? Is that great news? You don't look excited to me and you're giving me cash energy. Is that interesting? Is that exciting enough? Yes. All right, good. So today you'll be starting your training with the Python session. So yesterday we looked at some career design and we worked with Future 360. And it's so interesting to see how fast you were able to catch up, right? Started designing the 3D models basically, which was actually very makes me happy. So I know today is just going to be another interesting experience as we get started in this work with Python. Someone say Python. What's that Python before? I'm not done. Everybody has heard about Python before, but the question is which kind of Python? There are different kinds of Pythons, I mean. There's the one that swallow people. So the Python you're learning today is not the stage, it's not the one that swallows people. So Python is a programming language. When we say programming language, so I don't know why you name it Python, but let me just say that because Python. So why do you need to learn programming language? So remember yesterday we looked at what was configuring robotic system, right? We talked about the fact that you have mechanical components in the system, right? And we started exploring that yesterday because we looked at the design, which is the first step in getting your ideas concrete. Is that okay? And today we want to look at another component that goes into building these systems. Remember we talked about software on the computer side of it, the processing part of robots. Did we talk about that? Did we talk about that yesterday? You're not responding. You think you're not sure. We said there are at least 3 things you find in the robotic system. You have the mechanical system, the electrical system, and also you have the computer, the software part of it. So today we are exploring that aspect of the software that goes into building robots a little bit further. Okay? So when it comes to, when we talk about software, we talk about writing programs. Okay? We are writing programs with different programming languages. There are a lot of programming languages. Who can give me an example of programming languages apart from Python? I know SQL yesterday, so most of them. You said Kotlin, all right? JavaScript, Golang, C, Java. What other one? C#, C++. How about? Is that one a new language? All right, good. So and so on and so forth. You can actually almost use any of these languages, but there are some of them that are not suitable for applications in various systems and robotics. We have C, C++, Python, and so on and so forth. The one we think is going to be easiest for you to capture is the Python programming language. Okay? Python programming language is one of the simplest because those are still writing English language. So since you all write English language before, it's not going to be so hard for you to get used to writing the Python programming language. So again, as I said earlier, the connection between what you did yesterday, you were exploring the mechanical aspect of the design process of building robots. Today, you are exploring the aspect of writing software, the computer programming side of building robots. And you're going to see by towards afternoon how your Python program actually starts interacting with the hardware. So when you say software interacting with hardware, all right, so that's where we're going. We're going to get to that point where the software starts interacting with your hardware separately. So get yourself braced as you get started with Python this morning. So I want to confirm that everybody here has installed Anaconda already. Please, you have Anaconda, can I see your hands? Looks like a few of us. Okay, I don't have Anaconda installed. Can I see your hands? I don't have Anaconda installed. Can I see your hands? Some people don't belong anywhere. They are very sure I'm not installed Anaconda so that you can receive help very early because the task will start now. I've not installed Anaconda. Can I see your answer? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, and so on and so on. Right, so I'm going to come to your side. I'm going to see what your challenges are, and I'll see how we'll solve that. So now I'm going to be handing over to our instructor. I will welcome Mr. Arise Damida. He's going to take us in Python today. So while the class is ongoing, I'll go around to see people have issues on their identification. And the second thing you can do with this is you want to make sure that sitting beside someone, that's the only way you can get something. Okay, you are just getting it inside your eyes and putting it in your. Very sure that before you take space, most of these things are not stable. All right, over to Mr. Daniel.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Firstly, I want to apologize for the delay. Can you hear me? All right, we are really sorry. There was a little glitch. So you're welcome to Python class. It promises to be interesting. Our faces are scaring me. We are not even smiling. Many of us. Can we put a smile on our face? All right. For as many of us that has successfully installed Anaconda, can you just go to your, so we've started already. Just go to your search button to confirm that you have Anaconda in your system. Go to your search button and search for Anaconda. Are we doing that? Please, I need response. Are we doing that? So once you get to Anaconda, you can open the navigator. Let's talk about Anaconda before we go into Python. Open the Anaconda navigator. So it's loading. So basically, Anaconda is just a platform that decided to, they looked into the tech world, they looked at different fields that uses Python programming language. So they looked at all the applications that are necessary for you to use. Do you understand? And they put it into Anaconda. So whenever you need to work on Python, all you need to do is just download Anaconda. Do you understand? Just download Anaconda. That does not mean you cannot download Python setup on your own. You can still download Python setup, but you would need to download other things. Are we getting this? You will need to download other things. So decided to come with Anaconda. So once you download Anaconda on your system, you have basically all. So if you are on your comment this. You don't have to sign in. Sorry, please, let me figure out what I'm doing. So this guy is wanting me to sign up. So I don't want to sign up to the account. What I want to show us here is that if you look at the screen, you'll be seeing some basic applications here. So these are the applications that comes with Anaconda. Do you understand? So basically, you need to download those applications one after the other to work with them. But with Anaconda, you have all of them in Anaconda. What you just need to do is just to get started. Do you understand? So one of the applications we'll be using is what we call the Jupyter Notebook. The Jupyter Notebook. Do we get? Jupyter Notebook is a code editor. Yesterday, I was telling us that there are platforms where we need to type our codes. Whatever code you want to work with, there are platforms we need to type them. So we call them code editors. Many of us are familiar with VS Code, right? Many of us are familiar with VS Code. So there are different code editors. Another code editor we'll be using aside Jupyter Notebook. Another code editor we'll be using is the Tony. We were asked to install Tony. How many of us install Tony? How many of us install Tony? Please check the group chat. There are informations. We pass informations there. So please, so we should not delay ourselves. Tony is another code editor that we'll be using. Do we understand? So, but for this class, we'll be using Jupyter Notebook. You can just come to your search button again and click on Jupyter. Then you get your Jupyter Notebook. Open your Jupyter Notebook. It comes on with this terminal. All right. Are we all here? How many of us are here? Please, if you are here, let me see your hands. Let me see our hands. Only few of us. If you are not here, raise up your hand. So those of us that are not here, what's happening? Sir? Please don't fight the system. All right, I'll wait for us. I want all of us to be here. Just go to your search bar and search Jupyter Notebook. Go to your search bar and look for Jupyter Notebook. So I believe everybody should have done that now. Am I right? No. Please, they said it's not working. It should work now. It will bring out a terminal and it will take you to your browser automatically. Sorry. So I'm waiting for us. What's the error is bringing? What error is it bringing? It's not responding at all. Okay. Please excuse me. Let me check what's going on.
What did he say? Well, it's not responding.
You did not click it now. That's all.
It disappeared.
Your Anaconda needs to be reinstalled. Anaconda is having an issue. Who else again? Okay, it will open your browser. It will open your browser. Many people are still installing Anaconda. Okay, for as many that are still installing Anaconda, just please follow us. I sent a notebook to our platform. The real it. Yeah, please so download the notebook. Look at this environment. What you are seeing here, it's the same thing as this. When you go to your file explorer, you go to your C, your local disk C, you go to your user. Are we doing the same thing? You go to your PC. So this environment here, this environment is the same thing as this. Do you understand? So the notes that I gave you, download the notes and paste the notes in this environment. If you paste the notes in this environment, you'll find it here when you get to Jupyter Notebook. So I'm waiting for us to do that. Did we get what I just said? So I'll repeat myself. I said this environment, you can see the folders you're looking at, 3D objects, Anaconda 3 contacts, all this what you're seeing here, they are just folders. It's an environment. This is it. It's the same thing as when you go to your file explorer. Do we get? When you click on your file explorer, go to your local disk, your user, and PC. So this same thing here is what you are looking at here. Do we see? We have 3D objects here, and we are still having 3D objects here. Is that clear? So I want you to now download that note and put the notes in this environment. Are we following? Over here, are we following? Sir, did you get it? Okay. Okay. So how many of us have done that? Should I still wait? I'm not getting a response. You've done that. Fine. Who else again? They are still installing Anaconda. So many of us are still installing Anaconda. So I would wait for us to install. So once we are done installing, let me know. Anaconda is large, so it will take a little while. Just be patient. It will take some time. Let me come over and see what's really happening. Okay. You have it already. You've copied the file. Copy the file. Okay. What do you want to do together? Anaconda, it's always have issues. What is happening?
That's on this one.
I guess that's everything. Go to section. So are you there? Yes. Install any server somewhere else. No. Install Coco. Anything. Why is it there? I'm still installing it. What's the problem? Okay, it's transferring the connecting. But yours is working perfectly. Okay. I'm trying to install it back. Okay. I'm coming first. It's meant to because it's still installing. It's install.
I installed one yesterday.
What's happening? It's not. Let's search. When you search for Jupiter for Anaconda, so you have Anaconda already. So let me go to your tags bar first. So you should not check Jupiter node. You go to handle already. Yeah. So,
I'm going to tell the something before.
but it's shutting down back again. So one thing I think I will do now is check what's happening. Check what's happening. I believe most of us should be on the same page now. Remain new. So sorry, people online, we are trying to fix some things here. But they might not just have access to the notes. Yeah, anaconda.cloud.
nb.anaconda.cloud is nb.
So let's do it again. nb.anaconda.cloud. So we want to run it online. Make sure you are connected. So how many of us is in this? Is it working now? So this is the link. Then when you do this, you can now sign in or sign up. Please, I want to know how many of us is doing this. How many of us? One. Who else is doing this? Wow. the cloud. So I believe we are signing in. I'm signing up already. You are signing up already.
So how many of us are still working on the Anaconda cloud? Anybody else? Anybody else?
I guess it's still running.
Anybody else still working on Anaconda cloud? Everybody else have this, that's all.
Let me try this. Network. I'm trying to log in. Which feature let's log in? I guess my network is having issues. Can I connect to your network? Yes.
So I want
Once it's done, can you
to do for participation. So I continue to have what I feel I want to go down to
All right, so let's continue. So once you are done installing and you launch your Jupyter notebook, we all should be on this environment. Are we all here? Please, I need a response. Are we all here? All right, so the notebook I sent to the platform. Okay. Those of us that are running on the cloud, let's raise our hands.
So I'll actually have to get the files of yourself. But this one that is to look at follow the instructions.
Mr. Dan. Mr. Dan. Your network is not sure. So please hold on, let me join. All right. All right. So I want to believe you are at the same page now. Okay. So you can take the notebook and put it in this environment. This environment is the same thing as this place. I said, go to your file explorer, local disk, your user, PC, and this environment here is the same thing as the one you are seeing here, right? So just go and drop the file in this environment. How many of us have done that? How many of us? Please let me see our hands if you've done that. The rest of us, what's happening? Okay. All right, so you can click on the book notebook. Then let's wait for it to come up. All right. So this is a notebook. This is Jupyter Notebook. But before we go into this place, let us create a new notebook and let me take us through the interface. Are we ready? So let's go back to the home page. Go back to the home page. You see a new bar here. Let me bold this guy. I guess you cannot see it now. You see new here. So we want to create a new notebook. You see new here. Then let's click on Python 3. So this is the new notebook. First of all, you see it is untitled. It does not have a name. Are we all here? It does not have a name, so let's give it a name. You can double click it to change the name. So what name are we giving it? Someone should suggest. Python class. Eh? Oh yeah, now let's talk now. Nobody's suggesting. So I'm calling it Python class. Then I've renamed it. So looking at this interface, these are our cells. We have both inputs and output cells. Input cells are where you type in your code. The output cells are where you see the results. Do you understand? So let me take us through the whole notebook, what we are saying. Let me just take us through briefly, then we'll continue. So if I'm to create another cell, insert another cell, I'll press this add button, it creates another cell. Do you understand? Are we following? Then a shortcut to that is me pressing B on my keyboard. So before pressing B, I'll click, look at where I clicked. The color changes when I click the cell itself. The color changes to blue. Then I can press B. It creates another cell. Are we following? Yes. Over there, are we following? Eh? Are you using this? I said, if you want to create a new cell, press the add button to create a new cell. A shortcut for that, click on the current cell and press B. It creates a new cell below the current cell. Do you understand? So if you want to delete a cell, you can cut it. Are we following? You can cut it. What else? So whenever we have a code that wants to run, we click on this run button. We click on this play button to run the code, sorry. Then if you want to stop the code from running, for example, your code is running and you want to stop it from running, then you have your stop button. Do you understand? All right. So these are the basic things that we'll be working with in this class. Those few things I point out now, those are the basic things we'll be working with. So let's go to our notebook. Let's go back to our notebook. So if there is anything we want to expatiate on, we come to this notebook and expatiate on it. Do you understand? But we'll be working with our current notebook. So I prepared this notebook to make things very easy for us. So are we ready? Are we ready? Sorry for the whole break in transmission. I'm really sorry. Anaconda installations come like that sometimes. So I want to believe everybody is here before I continue. Are you here? What's happening? What's really happening? How many of us are here? Let me just know how many people is following me. We have few words, so you're here also. So should I continue? Should I continue? Please, I need our response. All right. So what is a Python language, Python programming language? What is a Python programming language? Yeah, I said Python is, first of all, it's a high-level language, which one of the meanings is that it is closer to our natural human language. And it is easier for humans to read. So there is no too much of difference between Python code and our normal English language. So it's not difficult at all. Do you understand? You'll be seeing some things like if, s, print, for. So those are our normal English language. It's just as if you're interacting with your colleague or someone speaking English. But here you're not speaking English now, you're speaking what? Python. So it's a language. So what you are here to learn now, you are here to learn the language. Do you understand? And it is not different there's not too much difference between it and our normal English language. Do you understand that? So it's also an open source programming language. What do I mean by open source? It means that they accept contributions. So for instance, now, once you are done with your Python lectures, and there is something that you think that Python does not have, and you want to add to it, do you understand? You can definitely add to it if they will accept it. But it's quite very hard for you to see what you are looking for, what they don't have, because this guy has been in existence for long. So there are a lot of contributions. Do you understand? But it's an open source programming language. It is known for its simplicity, readability, and versatility. So Python is simple, it is versatile. You see, you can apply Python to different fields like robotics, data science, cybersecurity, web development, mobile app development. So Python is everywhere. Python is everywhere. You can use it anywhere. You just have to now say, okay, where am I using Python? And what are the tools I need to use Python in my field? That's all you need. So for example, now we are using Python for what? Robotics. Do you understand? We're using Python for robotics now. So the fact that we're using Python for robotics, it does not change the syntax. We are still using the same syntax. Do you understand? Okay. Can we all see from those at the back? Can we see this? Can we see it? I should zoom a bit. Wow. Can we see it now? All right. So let's write our first programming language, our first Python application. Sorry. Let's write our first application. So we have an example here. One of the common functions, one of the most common functions of Python is the print function. The print function enables you to see whatever you want to see. Is it your results? Is it whatever? To print whatever you want it to print. You know, from the word print, you know what print does now? An output, basically. Do you understand? So you see that it's still more of English language. So print is a function in Python. Python is a kind of language that we call it, it's object-oriented. Object-oriented. So everything that is built inside of Python is built as an object. What is an object? Who can tell me something about an object? They're not responding. Jesus. What's happening now? Are we tired already? Eh? Let's gel. So what's an object? Nobody. Sir? Yes, sir. Okay, touch of you. Anybody else? Basically, that's the basic definition. Anything that has a property and it has a function. Do you understand? So as a human now, I am an object, you are an object. Do you understand? You have your properties and you can perform some functions. You can walk, you can talk. Do you understand? You are dark in complexion, you are tall, you are short, you are fat, you are thin. Those are your properties. Do you understand? So Python is also built based on that. So it's object-oriented also. So most things inside of Python are an object. Do we understand now? So keep that at the back of your mind. Because most of the time I'll be mentioning objects, I'll be mentioning function. Do you understand? So one basic function in Python is the print function. Someone already said to see an output. It helps us to see an output. So how do we use it? You can see I said print. I just called print. Print. Then I open a bracket. So when you're working with function, brackets, these parentheses here, open and close parentheses are needed. Do you understand? So let's go back. Let's go to the other note we opened. Let's go to the other note we opened and let's run something there. So let's follow me. Print. You print. You open your parentheses. Are we good? Then you put whatever you want to print here. But there is a clause here. Look, I can't just come and press any text I want here. I can't come here and say, I am happy like this. Python does not understand this text. Do you get? Python does not understand. The way Python sees our characters, it sees them one after the other. It sees them character by character. It sees I once, sees A once, M once. Do you understand? So the way I wrote it now, Python does not understand it until I need to put it inside a quote, telling Python that, okay, see my characters as a normal string, as a normal text. So it is not called text in Python, it's called strings. Can we repeat that? Strings. So I'm writing, I am happy. How many of us are happy? Are you happy you're learning Python? We should change it to sad. Check a change. Sorrow, sad, Abi. What's your name? Oh yeah, now tell me your name. What's your name? I'll give you a name. Idon is sad. So once I'm done with this, I need to run it. So I can come here and press the play button here. Do you understand? Once I press the play button here, I have an output. Idon is sad. Do you get? I can also, there's a shortcut for that. I don't need to be going and pressing play button. So you can press Control, Enter. Control, Enter. Control and Enter. Are we good? So this is our first Python application. We are now a Python programmer. Are we glad? Let's clap for ourselves. Those are for the people that are trying it too. Because I'm looking at some faces. I just frowning. All right. Let's move back to our notes. Any question? Any question? Sam? How did I get the notes? I said I sent the notes on our platform. I sent the note on our platform. I've described the way you would. Don't have the notes. Get it from somebody beside. So can we continue? Let's move to Python data types. Python data types. So we have various data types in Python. We have various data types. I'll just point out these 6. These basically are the 6 major ones that we'll be working with for our robotics application. Do you understand? The first one is called an integer. We know what an integer is. A whole number. Do you get a whole number? Second one is called a float. Please, I want us to follow. It's called a float. Floats, popularly known as decimal numbers, but in Python it is called what? It is called what? Floats. It's called floats. And we have strings. We've known what strings are. Strings are normal text. Basically anything that you put inside the quotes is a string. Anything you put inside the quotes is a string. So let's go back to our previous notes here. I can decide to say print. Are we here? Print. If I say print 24, what is 24 now? 24, integer. So Python understands that this is a number. So I don't need to put it in a string. So when it sees this, it sees that this is an integer. Then there's no problem. Do you understand? So I can run this guy, fine. In fact, I can do few calculations here and say print 24 plus 23 or anything. Do you get? And I run it, it gives me my output. Is that clear? Is that clear? So I said you can press the run button here. I'm moving on it already. Or you use Control Enter. Control Enter is the shortcut. Are we good? You're not answering. Are we good? All right, let's move on. Let's look at so I said if you need a new cell, press B. Click on this guy. The color will change to blue. If you are on it, it's green. But if you come out and click on it, it changes to blue. Then you can press B. B gives you a new cell. Do you understand? Then let's do that of floats. I can say print floats. Floats like 34.30. So this is a decimal number. This is a float. Are we good? So Python understands this too, because this is also a number type. It understands it. I can run this guy successfully, no problem. Do you understand now? So I can also come here and use any of my arithmetic sign on it. It works perfectly well, no problem. No problem. Let's look at string now. What if I use arithmetic sign with string? What will happen? So I have a string. I said print. Are you happy now? You're already happy? Okay. Plus happy. I'm expecting a question and nobody's asking me yet. Double quotes. That was the question I was expecting. The first one I used double quotes. The second one I'm using a single quote. So what's the difference? Abi? Is that the question? What's the difference? Basically, there is no difference in the two. You can use any one, but there might be some times that you will need a sentence like this. Let's run this guy first, then we'll go back to your question. So let me add Idon and Happy together. Do you see what happened to our string? Do you see what happens to our string? Idon joined together with what? Happy. So what Python is seeing here is that you are trying to add two strings together. So we call it what? Concatenation in Python. Do you understand? We are adding what? Two strings together. So Python will not do any calculation for you yet, other than adding it together. So back to your question. If I have something like this, print, and I use a single quote, and I say I am, do you see, it's already showing error. I am happy. This is already showing, it's not looking fine. Because what? There's a problem here. It's saying only I in a quote. Then it's saying M and happy. Do you get? So if I run this guy now, I'll definitely get an error. So this is an error statement in Python. It is called syntax error. So Python tries its possible best to interpret what the problem is to you. So it tries its possible. This is the best way Python can tell you this problem. So if you don't understand, forget about it. Do we get? So this is the best way. So what should we do? One of the solutions is to what? Use what? The double quotes. So I can decide to come here and use my double quotes. So with my double quotes now, the double quotes is like the parents now. Do you understand? Then the single quote I use for I am is the child. So with this now, I won't have any problem. So does that answer your question? So you've seen the reason why I'm using double quotes or single quotes. If you still insist that I want to use a double quote, a single quote, there are ways around it. But don't insist. Shego, please, let's use this one. Don't let us waste our time. So let's move on. I've been typing them now. Let me see. Well, how can I confirm the type of data I'm working with? I want to confirm the type of data I'm working with. There's also another function called type. Type. So all you just have to do is come here and write type. Do you understand? What are we looking for? Let's say I'm looking for type of 23. For instance, I can decide to print the type of 23. Do you see? Print the type of 23. With this, it tells me 23 is a class of what? Int. It's descriptive enough. But using Jupyter Notebook also helps us not to use print regularly. If you don't want to be using print regularly to see your output, that's one of the advantages of Jupyter Notebook. This notebook is majorly used for people in data science field. Do you understand? So instead of me saying print to see my output, I might not do that always. So I can just remove the print and run this guy. Sorry. Do we see? I didn't put print now. I ran the code straight up. Type of 23. Then I got an integer. Is that clear? So let's check the other types. 23.6 floats. Do you see? Are we following? At the back, are we following? Are you following? So let's use that of string, and let's see the way to write it for string. String. You know. str. Do we see this? Are we good? Are we good? I need a response. Are we good? All right. So let's look at other data types that we have. So we've talked about integers, we've talked about floats, we've talked about string. Let's look at lists. Lists. So for instance, I have 2 or more strings that I want to bring together. For instance, so we call it list or array of different items. Do you understand? So list also is another data type in Python. So how do I work with lists? Later in this class, we would major on lists because one of the things we'll be working with more is lists. We'll major on lists later in this class. But if I want to work with lists, for instance, all I just need to do is what you use to identify a list is either you use the square bracket, your square bracket, and you give your items. For instance, I'm going to a market, I want to get some items. I want to get something like cassava. Cassava is the first item. I want to get something like agbado. Are you getting? This is another item I want to get. So what other item should I get again? Gari. Thank you. Away again. Which other one? Float berry. Floating berry. Floating berry. So these are the items I want to get. I'm putting them inside what? A list. Do we see this? I'm putting them inside a list. Let's confirm the type of this guy. And let me see if we'll get it correctly. Type is showing what? A list. Do you understand? Is this clear? So let's look at another data type. Another one is tuple. We call it tuple. You know, when I started this class, I said Python is object-oriented. Do you understand? It's object-oriented. So list, tuple, they are an object. They have their properties and their function. When we move on, we'll mention that, we'll go into that very well. So let's look at tuple. How do I know a tuple? A tuple also is an array. Like you having an array of different items. I'll use what? So for tuple is not a square bracket now. Tuple is what? The normal parentheses. Is this clear? The normal parentheses. So let's copy all these items you have here. And let's check the type of this guy to confirm what we are doing. Type. We have what? A tuple. Is this clear? Let's move on. So our notes. We also have what we call the Boolean type. So is it Boolean or Boolean? Sir? Boolean. Don't mind me. Boolean. So basically they are just two. True or false. True or false. So Boolean are part of the normal text that Python understands. True or false. But you must start it with a capital letter. It is capitalized. In Python, it is capitalized. In other programming language like JavaScript, I don't think it's capitalized, but in Python, it's capitalized. So if I am writing true, Python understands that I'm saying true. So let me check for the type of true. Type. And I run this guy. It tells me what? Bool. Is this clear? So can we move on? Over here, can we move on? Let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about Python variables. Python variables. I know that many of us are programmers here, but who can tell me what a variable is? What's a variable? Anybody? I'm listening now. I did. Wow. I've forgotten myself. I don't know that the question I'm asking was it. But that's not variable. What you said is not even what variable is. So who else can tell me what a variable is? Okay, thank you. Variables are container. So if you have a bottle with you there, Python sees that bottle, as a container. Do you understand? So this is a bottle. It allows you to input, to put something inside of it, right? So you can decide to put water inside. You can decide to put more than water. You can decide to put water, stone, salt, sand, and anything. Do you understand? Do we get? So let's declare one variable, for instance. So let's call the variable what? Bottle, Abi? Bottle. So every bottle has an opening now that allows a value to enter, right? That allows something to enter. So the opening that this bottle will have in Python is equal to sign. This equal to sign. So in our mathematics, we know this as what? Equal to, right? Right? But in Python, it is not equal to. It is called what? An assignment operator. Are we here? It is called an assignment operator. So it is used to what? Assign a value to a. It is used to assign a value to a. Many of us are not following though. All right. It is used to assign a value to a variable. So for instance, in this bottle now, I want to put water. If I write water like this now, am I correct? Am I correct? Someone said yes. Who else is going with yes? Am I correct with what I wrote now? Why? Yes, but what will happen? Will I encounter error? Yes. Why? Because Python does not understand water. Do you understand? So I must put it into a string and tell Python that water, this water that you are seeing, it's an ordinary text. Do you get? So now Python sees bottle as a variable. I did not come to bottle now and put the string, the quotes here. I don't need to do that. All I just need to do is just say bottle. So once I call bottle and put the assignment operator, Python sees that bottle already as something, as an object. Do you understand? Python has seen the bottle as an object already. So bottle as an object. Bottle is what? What data type is bottle now? Are we sure? So let's do something. Let's print bottle. You know, I said Jupyter Notebook does not necessarily want you to be writing print always. So I can just come here and say bottle. Do you understand? I'll just say bottle and I press enter. Then you see water. So it's telling me that whenever I'm calling bottle anywhere in my code, that I'm now calling bottle, I'll be getting what? They are not following me here. These people, what will I be getting? Anywhere in my code that I'm calling bottle, I'll be getting water instead. Do you understand? But water is a string, right? So because water is a string, then bottle becomes what? A string data type. Let us check the type. Type. What's the type of bottle? String. Is that clear? Is that clear? So let's move on again. Let's still have bottle. So inside of bottle, I don't want only water to be inside, right? For instance, I want water, I want salt, I want stone, I want sand to be inside of bottle. Are we following? Are we following them? So I'll say bottle is assigned, what I'm assigning to bottle is number one. I'm saying water. Then I'll do comma. What? Salt. Then let's choose another one. Stone. So if I have multiple items, I want us to follow. If I have multiple items that I'm assigning into a variable, are we here? If I have multiple items that I'm assigning into a variable, Python automatically uses the parentheses, even if I did not indicate. Do you understand? Python automatically uses the parentheses. For instance, let me print bottle out and say bottle. Let me say print bottle. What is my result? A tuple, right? So Python automatically uses a tuple for me. But I can decide to say, tell Python that Python, I don't want a tuple. I want what? A list. Do you understand? I want a list. So I can come here and put my square brackets. Then this becomes what? A list. Then bottle, if I should print the data type of bottle, then I'll be having class list type. Then I'm having what? Class list. I want to believe that everybody is on the same page. Should I wait? He has a question. What? It has worked. Are we fine? If you are fine, tell me to continue. Are we fine? All right. So whenever I say, are we fine, just tell me continue. So if everybody calls continue, I'll continue. So if you are not fine, don't tell me continue. Do you understand? But make sure you are fine. So in our the normal Python notes that we have a variable called what? Name, right? And in name, I am assigning what? John. Who is John in this class? You know you're John. There's no John. Thank God there's no John. You are John. Wow. John is already a Python programmer. So I'm assigning John into name. So once I say print name, I have John. Do you understand? Is that clear? All right. Let's do a little mathematics. Let's do a little mathematics then. So I'm saying X. How many of us love seeing X, Y, Z in mathematics? How many of us love mathematics then? See, if you don't love mathematics, go and love mathematics. So you will use it in robotics. Go and love it. So X is equals to 20. Do you understand now? So I'm assigning 20 into X. I'm assigning 30 into Y. Do you understand? Then I now have another variable called Z. And what is Z doing? Z is adding X and Y together. Is that clear? Is that clear? Should I continue? I said, if I say, is that clear? You say, okay, are you there? Are we fine? Thank you. Are we fine? I will say. Remind me. Are we fine? Are we fine? So print Z. So Z is now what? The addition of what? 20 and 30. Can we move on now? So let's create a variable that accepts something from our user. You know, when we go online and we are filling forms, you know that you're the one that will type your name yourself. You type your age, type your whatsoever yourself. So let us do that too on Python here. Python also has a function called input. Are we here? It has a function called what? Input. It enables us to what? Input value inside a value inside what? A variable. Are we following? Are we fine? Okay. Few people are getting it. So this is how I wrote it. Can you see? Let's go back to our notes, our normal notes, and let's write it again. So I create a variable. I call the variable what? Name. I want to receive what? I want to get an input from my user. I want to get my user's name. Do you understand? So I said name. I use my assignment operator and I said input. I'll call on input. For every function in Python, you must always use that parenthesis. You must always use it. Do you understand? So it's compulsory. So if I should say name is equals to input, if I should do something like this and I run name, it will just create this for me. So my user will not understand now that what are you getting from me? There's no label, right? There's no label. So let's put a label now. So I'll come into input and then I'll put a label. I can say insert your name. I can just come here and say user name, for instance. So if I do user name, I can give it a space. In Python, even space is recognized as a character. Do you understand? Even space is recognized as a character. So when I put space, Python will give it a little bit of space. So let me rerun this guy. Why is this guy taking long? You can see now. Is this fine? Are we all here? Are we here now? Username. So I have username. I can collect my user, a name from my user now. So let me say Idon, for instance. Idon, and let me run it. That's all. Do we see? So what did I do? I said, give me your name. Then when you are done giving me your name, print your name. So let me use print instead so it will be clear. So print the name. I'm telling Python, whenever you collect a username from the user, print that username. So I'll do print. So Idon, and I run the code. Then I have Idon back. Do you understand? So let's create an expression. Let's create something using that. You remember that plus sign that I used to concatenate? Let's use something like that here. So I can say, I can come here, create a string. You know that name is a variable, but it's also a string, right? Right? So I can use plus on it. And I'll say, okay, my username is the variable, Abi. So I can come and write my user name is, then I need to give it a space. So call it me space. Then I give it a space. Then let me run it back. So username, you don't. Then what do I have? My username is, you know, are we fine? No, not fine. Are we fine? No. Are we fine now? Continue. Are we fine? The chorus, we have few of us are responding. Are you fine? I should continue. Right. So let's move on. Let's go to our notes. So I used another method here. This is also another method for concatenation. So let me use this method and let's do a few examples to see. And in those few examples, we'll use different method, and you choose the one that is preferable to you. Do you understand? So let's go back to our notes. Let me have something like this. You know, we did a calculation the other time. So let's create a simple calculator, for instance, now. We can do that already now. I can say value 1, Abi. Value 1. Value 1 is equal to what? Input, Abi. Are we here? Input. So input your first value. Input your first value. Let's create another value too. Programmers that are here will be seeing an error already. But let's continue. Let us see the error ourselves. How many of us is seeing error already? Nobody's seeing it, so thank God. Your second what? Value, Abi? Can I create a result now? A result variable and say result. Result is equal to what? First value plus what? Second value, right? Value 1 plus value 2. Are we good? Are we fine? So let me print results, but I don't want to print result alone. I want to say your result is, do you understand? Or your answer is, so I'll say print a string and say your answer is plus what? Results. All right, let's run this code. First value. What's the first value? Somebody show me. 61. Second value. Second value, Joe. Somebody. 30. Thank you, sir. 30. So let's look at our answer. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? 6130. What happened? Why is it like that? He's saying it what? As a string. So this is a string normally. So I need there's a way to convert string to integer or float. Do you understand? So naturally, input, when you use input and you put a placeholder or a label on this side, it sees it as a normal string. Do you understand? So all we have to do here is to just come and convert this guy to what? So do you see the way I'm converting it? So I'll just come here. You know, we have when we saw the class, we saw int, int. So is that int that we'll put here? Int. Then we've converted value 1 to an integer already. Let's do the same thing for value 2. Value 2 int. Should we run the code now? Are we ready? So let's run the code now. value 1, 62, value 3, 30. Are we ready? We should continue. Then I have an error. What's the error? Can only concatenate a string. So I cannot be saying do SQI plus 30 for me. Do you understand? It will not understand. That's rubbish now. You tell me to add an alphabet with. So it does not understand that. So I need to do another conversion. Do you understand? I need to come here and convert what? Results. You know, result is already an integer now. You know, my result is already an integer. Should we confirm that? I want to hear yes. Should we confirm results? So let's confirm if result is an integer. So I'll just say print. So look at what I did. I did not want this print to work. What did I do? Comment. So for as many of us that don't understand what comment is, I added h hash, sorry. Added hash to my print, to that line. I did it easily. You would see me not navigating to where hash is. I did it easily. So to do that, you can just say control /. So you over on that line that you want to comment and you control / it. So commenting is used for skipping a code. You don't want that line of code to run. That's number one. Number two, you also probably want to give a description to your code. You want to give a documentation. Do you understand? You want to document your code. You want to tell us that, okay, this is what this code is doing. This is what this line is doing. Then you use what? Comment. Is that fine? All right. So let's move on. So I commented. Is it commented or comment? I commented it. Now you sabi. All right. Let's move on. Let's print type results. Do you understand now? I just want to print type results. So first value 45, second value 44. Then it's telling me that my result is already an int. Do you get now? So I cannot concatenate, I cannot join a string and an integer. So what I need to now do now is, let me comment this guy and uncomment this one. I need to go and convert results again back to, I will convert results back to what? String. I want us to be sure of that. I need to convert results back to string. Do you understand? So I'll come here and I'll come here also, convert this guy to string and run. So with this, I will not have any problem. Your answer is 90. You have a question? What if it is not convertible? If it's not converted to string, it will show you an error. It will tell you that you cannot add. You know, I'm using plus sign here now. And normally, plus is to add things together, right? So it will tell you that I cannot add a string and an integer together. It can never work, right? So that's why I need to go and convert my result to a string. I believe this is clear. Are we fine? Are we fine? Some of us are not fine, so let's wait for them. You're not fine. What was happening? It's not clear. It's not, I should repeat myself. All right. So I said naturally, when you say input and you put your label, it is automatically a string. Do you understand? And what I want to perform is a simple calculator. I want to add two values together, right? And I'm collecting those values from my user. Do you understand? I'm collecting value 1 from my user, collecting value 2 from my user. Do you understand? So I don't want to collect a string from them. I want to collect what? An integer from them. So I converted my input from what? A string to an integer. That's number one. So when I added them up, and put them into a variable called what? Results. Abi? So result now is already what? An integer. Do you get? Now I want to print my answer. I don't just want to print my answer and say print results alone. I want to add an expression to it or a sentence to it saying your answer is. Do you understand? But when I'm saying already my result is an integer, so I cannot add a string and an integer together. It will throw me error to tell me that you cannot concatenate a string and an integer. Do you understand? The only thing that can work is either both of them are integers or both of them are string. Do you understand? So that's how I had to come and convert my result back to a string. So I'll have string plus string. Is that clear? Are we fine?
Yes.
Are we fine? There's only one person there. That person is already a Python programmer. Are we fine? They are not fine. This place, they are not fine. Are we fine? Or you're tired? Are we tired? It's boring. Well, let's continue. Let's go back to our notes. So let's take a look at some Python operators. Let's take a look at some Python operators. So we've been using only plus since, Abi. We've been using only plus since. Let's look at others. Number one, we have our major arithmetic operator. Our arithmetic operator. We know our arithmetic operator, the plus sign, Abi, the minus sign. Then if you see this / here, it means what? It means division. Do you understand? Division. The / is for division. The asterisk here, what is asterisk? Multiplication. Asterisk is for multiplication. We have 2 /. In Python, we call it floor division. Do you understand? We call it floor division. So what does it do for us? Eh? Thank you, sir. What did you say? This is not good. So it gives us the whole number. When you divide something like 3 divided by 2, I'll be having what? 1.5, Abi. 3 divided by 2. 1.5 now. Go and learn mathematics. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, Abi. So instead of me getting 1.5 as my answer, if I use floor division, that's 2 /, I'll be having something like what? 1. I'll be having 1. That's for floor division. Let's look at the second one. We have this percentage sign, Abi. Percentage sign. The percentage sign here is called modulus. What do I call it? Modulus. So if I'm using a modulus, I am expecting the remainder. Do you understand? So instead of me having 1.5, I'll have the remainder. So 2 divided by 3, I'll be 3 divided by 2 is 1 remainder. No, so don't say 0.5 again. Now let's look at it. 1 remainder what? 1 remainder. 1 remainder what? So if I remove 2 from 3, I'll be having 1 remainder 1 now. So instead of me having 2 or 1 as my, it's kind of the same, but I'm having the remainder. Just know that it's the remainder I'll be having as my result, 1. So let's go and let's do something. Enough of the talk. Then the last one there, these 2 asterisk sign, is raised to power. The power of something. Please, let's take notes. Take note of this arithmetic operations. So let's do something. Print. So I'll just do everything once here now. Print 7. We know divide already now. Let's just look at the floor division, the modulus, and raised to power. So floor division of 2. What will I have? 3. Did you see now? I'm having 3. 2 will go in 7 3 times. Do you understand? And it will be remaining what? 1. Do you get? So instead of using floor division, now let's change it. Let's use modulus now. So I'll say modulus, the percentage sign, I'll have what? 1. Are we good? Is this clear? So let's do that of this guy, the double asterisk. That's 7 raised to power of what? 2. 7 raised to power of 2, 49. Are we good? Are we good? All right. So let's continue. Let's check our notes. We also have another operator called an assignment operator. So we already know equal to already as an assignment operator, right? But there are other assignment operators. We also have, before I end this class, we'll do one class work. Yes, we'll do it. And the fastest person, I can't do that here because there's some same boats have been. But we'll have a class work. So let's anticipate. I'm not sending it on the group. So let's look at assignment operator. I have equal to here, the normal assignment operator. I also have another one, plus and equal to. What does that mean? Plus and equal to. In Python, we call it increment. Repeat it after me, increment. So you want to increase the value of something. Previously, x is 1. So if I say x, let's go back to our notes and do that. And I said, so let me say x is equals to 1 before, right? Right? This number, x is equals to 1. 1 is assigned to x. So go back. Do this for me. Do x plus equal to 2. Let me say 2. For instance, what's happening here? I'm saying, am I too fast? It's not running. This one. We've not run it now. Just type it. So look at this. X is equals to 1. Then I'm now saying x plus equals to 2. What do I mean? Basically, I'm saying, this is what I'm saying in essence. Let me use yeah. So look at it. This is what this guy is saying. He's saying x is equals to x plus 2. That's the meaning. Can we see the screen? Show you. Is it clear? It's not clear, Abby. So previously, I said x is equals to what? 1, right? So we all know that x is equals to 1. But I want to increase the value of x. Do you understand? I want to increase the value of x. I want to add 2 to x to increase it, to make x what? 3, right? Right? So I'm having what? X plus equal to. It means x is equal to x plus 2. So x is previously 1, Abby. Then that's x is equals to what? 1 plus 2. Do you understand? So x is now equals to what? The new value of x is now what? 3. Is that clear? It's not still clear. From the back, it's not still clear. All right. Look at it. Oh. Set your gaze. Let your heart be connected to this guy. Do you understand? X is equals to 1. And I said x plus equals to 2. This is what it means. It means x is equal to this same x is equal to that same x again. Do you understand? Plus 2. So for instance, let me say I have 1 Congo of Gary. Let me change this guy to Gary now. Gary is 1 Congo already. I have 1 Congo of Gary in my house. Then I went to the market and I go and buy another 2 Congo of Gary. Do you understand? So when I got home, I had the Gary that I bought from the market. I added it to the Gary I have at home. Do you get that? Do you get that? So I'm having what? Oops. Gary is equals to what? Gary, Abi? The Gary at home, Abi? Plus the 2 Congo of Gary that I bought. Do you understand? Is equals to my major, that's not equals to the Gary the total Gary I have at home now. Do you understand? Now at home now I'm having how many Gary? 3 Congos of Gary. Should we add corn to it? Like Agbado? Okay. Corn too goes well with Gary. Abi? You're not clear. Okay, I have a question. Eh? String. Yes. It's nice. There's no string here. This is just a variable. Yes, I don't want to change. I want to do a shortcut. I don't want to change Gary to another thing. I just want to say I'm adding up. I'm increasing the value of something. Do you understand? Do you get now? I just want to increase the value of something. That's what that increment sign is for. I want to keep increasing the value of x. Do you understand? Is that clear now? So let me change this guy back to what? X. And let me run it. Let me run x now. Print x for me. So x is originally 1. Now x is what? 3. Are we good? So we can do the same thing too for minus, for other arithmetic operation that we have. Do you get? We can do the same thing for the minus, for the times, for the floor division, raised to power. We can do the same thing. I don't want to waste time on that. Are we fine? Are we fine? All right. We have more Python operators, but I'll just talk on this few. So let's look at comparison operator now. In our normal secondary school, we know, even primary school self, we know less than, greater than or equal to, share you understand? Equal to, do you understand? Those are comparison operator. Let's look at them. So in Python, if I say x is equal to 2, so previous, let us give x a value. Let's give x a value. Let me say x is equal to, you see I'm saying equal to 2 times. You know the difference. I'll tell you the difference. The first one is an assignment operator. Do you understand? I'm assigning a value to x. I'm saying x is assigned, 2 is assigned to x. So x is equal to 2. So I now want to print this guy. Look at it. Let me print this guy and say x. Let me print this guy. Are we good? Are we good? We should move on. I got what? What's the data type I got? Boolean. Are we good? So it's telling me true. X is what? Equal to 2, right? Because I've already assigned 2 to X up. So it's telling me yes now. Yes, X is equals to true. Do you understand? If I say X is equals to 3, what will I get? False. It's saying false. X is not equal to. So we mentioned a statement now, not equal to, Abi. How do I say not equal to in Python? So I can come here and put this exclamation mark. Look at the screen. This exclamation mark. Once I say put exclamation mark, I said X is not equal to what? 3, right? Are we good? So what will I have as my answer now? True. X is not equal to 3. Are we tired already? There's still energy. We should move on. Okay? We can finish the whole of Python today if you are ready. There's nothing more now. This is Python now. Abi? Is Python interesting? The syntax are simple, right? It's like normal mathematics. You don't, Shebi? So let's use another comparison operator. Let's use our secondary school or primary school greater than. So X is greater than 3. Is X greater than 3? No. So what will be my result? False. X is not greater than 3. Correct. X is less than 3. True or false? X is less than 3. True or false? True. X is less than 3. What of X is X less than or equal to? See the way I wrote it. Is X less than or equal to 3? It's true. It is less than. Do you understand? Is X greater than or equal to 3? False. It is not greater than and it is not equal to. That's comparison operator for you. So how many comparison operators have we learned now? Number 1, equal to. Number 2, not equal to. Number 3, greater than, less than, greater than. Great. So we've learned those comparison operators already. Let's look at another operator, logical operator. Let's look at logical operator together. Many of us should know this now, and, or, and not. So let's look at the way it works. Look at this guy. Let me reduce this guy a bit, please. Yeah. So once I have and is a logic. Is a logic. So I'm saying if I have, for instance now, if I have food in my stomach, do you understand? And I have money in my pocket, then my mood will be what? Happy, right? If I have money in my pocket and food in my stomach, I'll be happy. Happy? But if I have food in my stomach and there's no money in my pocket, what will be my mood? The opposite, Abi. If I have money in my pocket, I said money in my pocket. Okay, I said food in my stomach, money is not in my pocket. So if I have money in my pocket and food is not in my stomach, same thing, Abi. So, violence, Abi. Violence. In fact, I don't think I'll be here. All right, let's look at this. So condition A is true, true, false, false. Abi, Condition B is true, false, true, false. So I'm saying condition A and condition B, that is, if condition A is true and condition B is true, then my answer is what? Abi? If condition A is true and condition B is false, then my answer is what? False. If condition A is false and condition B is true, then my answer is what? If condition A is false and I don't get food for hand, I don't get food for stomach, and I don't get money for pocket. Then my condition is what? My answer is what? False. The mood will be correct violence. Be violence. So let's look at OR. OR is also another logical operator. But OR is telling me that at least as long as you get money for pockets, then you can use that money in your pocket to buy food. Yeah. So if I have money or food, then I'll be happy. Any of the two. So in the conditions now, I say if A is true and B is true, then my answer is what? True for all. So either I have money or food, I am still happy. Happy now? Then if I have money, if A is true and B is false, and I don't have food in my stomach, I am still happy because I know that I'll use money to buy food. Then if I don't have money and I have food in my stomach, what will happen to me? I'll still be happy. At least I have strength to work, to make money. So that's true. Do you understand? But if I don't have food and I don't have money, then there's a problem. That's what? False. Is that good? Are we fine? So let's look at not. Not is just inverse of anything. Inverse of whatsoever you have. So if I have true, the inverse of true is what? False. If I have false, the inverse of false is what? True. Do you understand? Not. So that's that on that. So when we talk about if-else statements now, this conditional statement, then we'll pause here today. This is what we'll pause today. When we talk about if-else, if statements, we'll do our classwork. We can even go home. I can give us an assignment. How many of us like to do an assignment at home? Yeah. Great. You can clap for yourself. I'm not clapping for you. Correct. We are already a Python programmer. We are already programming. Imagine. So let's look at this guy. So we are talking about Python conditional statements. So all those descriptions I was saying now, I want to put it into a code. Do you understand? I want to say x is equals to 10. So if x is a condition, Abi, so if statement is called if-else statement, Python conditional statement. I'm saying if x is greater than 0. Do we get that? If x is greater than 0, so print what? X. Oh, I did not tell us this. Have I explained this format for us? Have I explained this one for us? No, Abi. It's the addition sign I explained. Let me use this example to explain it. So instead of me saying we are disturbing. So this is also another method of concatenation. So this method does not allow me to be doing conversion. You know, in the previous one, we're converting now from string back to integer, from integer to string, all those things when I want to print. Yeah, I don't necessarily need to convert. I don't need to convert. Do you understand? All I'll just use, it is called F string. F string. So I'll just come here and put F. Before I put down my quotes, it is a prefix. Before I put down my quotes, I'll put F. Do we get? So where I want to put my variable, I will use a curly bracket. I'll first put a curly bracket, then I'll put my variable there. Is that clear? Is that clear enough? So if I do that, I don't need to convert again. Is that clear? So I just put F, Then if it's a variable, you see where I want to put my variable, I'll put a curly bracket first, then I'll put my variable, then continue my expression. Do you understand now? So what I want to do here is that I'm saying x is equal to 10, yes. If x is greater than 0, print x is greater than 0. Do you understand? Look at what happened here. What I want to print is under the statement. Did you see? What I'm printing is what? Under the statement. I did not bring it out like this. Do you understand? I put it what? Under the statement. Many of us are not following this place. What's happening here? Are we following? All right. So because what I want to print is under that statement, if, right? So I'm putting it under the statement. I'm saying if x is greater than 0, then print x is greater than 0. So it's not printing x, it's not printing the value. It's saying 10 is greater than what? 0. Are we fine? Over there, that brother is sleeping already. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Masu, G. All right. So let's run this code. I'm not saying, okay, then if else, the second condition, else, if it is not greater than 0, then tell me that what? X is not what? Greater than 0. Is that good? So let's run. X is obviously greater than 0, right? Because x is 10. But if I put x to be equals to 0 now, for instance, I'm having what? 0 is not greater than 0, right? 0 is not greater than 0. So it's going to what? The else block. So we call them block. It's going to the else block. It left the if block and went to the other, so it's to the next condition, else. Is that fine? Over here, are we good? You understand? Okay, great. So let's use those logical operators that we did the other time. Let's use them on this guy. Let's use them on this guy. I'm saying x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 5. Abi? I'm not saying if x is equal to 10, true, Abi? The condition is true. And y is not equal to 10. Then print, you can see me because the condition are met. Do you understand? Then if I change the alter the value now, I'll see the next block, the else block. So let me run this guy first to see if what I did is correct. So I'm saying you can see me because the conditions are met, because x is equal to 10 and y is not equal to 10. Do you understand? So if I come here and change x to be 1 now, it will go to the next block. No, your conditions are not met. Is that clear? You know? So clear. We can proceed, Abi. We are moving gradually to our assignment, to the classwork. In fact, let's do the classwork now. Can we do the classwork now? Yes. Okay. It's a simple classwork. I want you to collect an input from a user, an integer from a user. Do you understand? And I want you to tell me if the integer is what? An odd number or an even number. You don't, sister, don't be evil. Oh, yeah, now. It's simple now. Remember those operators we use, those arithmetic operations, operators we use. The modulus or anyone, you can use anyone, just use something. Oh, yeah, now, in the next 5 minutes, our time is fast spent already, so we should round up. Can we do it? We should be able to do it. Collect an integer from a user. Do you understand? And confirm, tell us if the user, what the user inputs is an odd number or an even number. I believe we should be able to do that. You finished it. You are done. Hey. Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah, lay your hands on this now. I should scroll. The what? Is okay. Yeah? Yeah, you are done soon. I'm coming. It's not printing anything. Please excuse me. Mr. Dan. Hello, sir. The 3D printer. That way, can you print anymore? Thank you. So, in case you notice something like this, what happened is probably that way, so, who is done? He said it's done. I know that he's a programmer. Okay. Okay. Who else again? Okay. We have 2 people already. Okay. Okay. Nice, nice. Who else again? Oh yeah, now, ladies, make us proud. Ladies, make us proud. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm cutting no ChatGPT. Who else again? You understand. But you understand what we've done so far? A little. It's not big enough. Sorry, please. Look at what is happening. This guy, this else, come back. Then this one, this is another statement. So that's why it's bad. So this, what you are printing is under that statement.
So before we went off, so the man came to, he said it was not big enough. So not big enough.
It's not big enough. Okay, you're using the online. So let's interrupt it first. It's loading. So interrupt this guy. Until this guy turns to white and this asterisk leaves. You understand? So if you don't interrupt it, skip interrupt it. If it does not interrupt, it's still loading. So no matter what you are doing, it's not showing. It's a angle, something like that. You understand? Or network. One of these two. So you can open a new notebook if it's not working. Who else again? Okay. Well, someone that is done new. Okay, let me use the mic. You can write code on your notes now. Okay. All right. What I asked us to do is that I said collect an input from a user, an integer from the user, and confirm if the integer is an odd number or an even number. You know all those arithmetic operations that we use now. Who else? Who else has gotten it here? Hello, Bambi. I need one more person, then I'll continue. You got it? What to see? You got it? Okay. But I said collect an input. Yeah, collect inputs. I know how to use inputs now. Don't you? Use collect inputs. I thought inputs. No. Inputs. Make the variable an inputs. Show you. Got that. Show you. Got that. Show you. Just worked. What of it? So what would you do since when you don't understand? Or is the question that you don't understand? Just press OK on you. But got attention that I'll show you. Okay. Really too. Okay. Look at the screenshot. Where you guys are seated, the screen that you are not seeing the screen very well. Should have sat in that area so you see the screen. Are you seeing the screen? You are finding it hard to see the screen. That's why. That's why. So I guess you need to move away from this seat to the next. So who else again? So what do you want? Let me see. How can I help? You guys don't even do anything that I really used to help. Imagine. Let me help you. Okay, you have it. Okay. I'm proud of this person. I'm proud of him. He did it in his book. He did it in his book. The only problem I will just have is probably the indentation, but he got it right. Can we give him a round of applause? So no limitation. Thank you. Okay, so another person again. Imagine. Another person did it. Great. Let's give him a round of applause. All right. I have my students here, so I know them. I'll not check their own book. Yeah. All right, let's continue. Let's do it. So there is something about programming. There's something about programming. You guys show. So in programming language, you can use any approach. Do you understand? So it's very hard to copy yourself in programming language. So let's look at the question. The question says, B. Let me run it here. Collect and input an integer from a user. That's the first statement. So let's create a variable, user. I'm collecting an input, but the input is what? An integer, Abi. Integer input. Your number or your value, something like that. Then check if the value that you get from the user is an odd number or an even number. How do I check that? Note, go back to what we did. If I do any value modulus of any of 2, if the value is an integer, an even number, I'll have 0 as my answer now. There won't be any remainder. Anything I divide by 2, the remainder is what? 0 if it's an even number. But if it is not 0, then it is what? It's an odd number. Abi now. So that's what I'll just use for my condition. Simple as ABC. So I'll just do if user, because user is the number I'm collecting. Abi, modulus of 2 is equal to, if it is equal to 0, Abi, then I can do this to make it beautiful. F string, and I'll say the user is an even number. Else, print is an what? Odd number. Is this clear? Is this clear? Let's run it and check. Abi? Many of us are not. Is this clear? That's very screen. So let's run this guy. Let's run this guy. Are we ready? Input your value. 34. 34 is an even number, right? 34 is an even number. Do we see that we've answered that question now? So if I should rerun it, and I have 77, I'll surely have a remainder. 77 what is an odd number. Are we good? Now still a fight. People would not get it, they are fighting. Yeah. You're asking a question. Okay? Are we good now? Are we good? Where is everybody? Everybody had classwork. What a jumper. They went to pray. Oh, 107. Okay. Should we stop here? Let's stop here today, Abby, and go for a break. Yes, say aye. No, say nay. All right. The yes have it. Tomorrow we'll continue with Python collections. You know, we talked about a few Python collections, talked about list and tuple. We'll dive into it deeper. So should I give us an assignment? Okay. Before I give us an assignment, let me show us this guy. Elif. Do you see Elif? Do you see it? So it means what? Else if. Abi? Else if. So if the first condition is not met, check the second condition, that's the else if. So we can have multiple else if. Check the next condition. If the next condition is still not met, check another else if again. Do you understand? Then if none of the conditions that you stated is not met, then you go to the else block. Else. Do you understand? So this guy is saying x is equal to 10, right? If x is equal to 10, print variable x is greater than variable x is equal to 10. Do you understand? And if x is greater than 0, Abi, I'm saying x is not equal to 10, but greater than 0. That's another condition. Else, x is not equal to 10 and it's less than 0. So my x is 10. So what is the condition I'll be getting? X is equals to 10, Abi? Abi? X is equals to 10. If I change my x to 1 now, it will go to the next condition, that x is not equal to 10, but it is greater than what? 0. Then if I change x to be 0 now, and I run it, I'll have that what? X is not equal to 10, and it is less than 0. Do we understand those conditions now? Fine. Assignment. Open your phone. Bring out your phone. So, which USSD code do you love best? MTN users, Airtel users, Glow. Oh, your fastest finger. Fastest finger. Star. I don't even know. All right. What's this? I've forgotten the code now. Is this star 3110 or star 3? Star 31, no drop menu jadi. So any star that drops menu out, 312, Abi. That's what you do. Yes. Yes. That's what you do. So this is what you are doing. You are saying that my user, once you type star 312 and you type it correct, star 312 hash, print that menu. Do you understand? Is that clear? Is that clear? You can go and do a little bit of research to finish it. You say, inside that if I should not complicate the issues. All right, let's do this. We are doing 2 assignments now. We'll do 2. Do this USSD, and do a calculator. I think a calculator is simple now. So you ask the user, when you collect the inputs from the user, ask the user, which operation do you want to perform? Is it addition? Is it subtraction? Is it multiplication? Is it modulus? Is it floor division? Any of the options the user choose, you must have a condition for them. Do you understand? Is that clear enough? It's not clear. Let me repeat myself. You want to create a calculator, right? You collect the first value from the user, collect the second value from the user. Then you ask the user, you print it to the user. Number 1, addition. Number 2, subtraction. Number 2, 3, modulus, any of the operators. Then you now tell the user, if you choose 1, you perform an addition operation for the user. If you choose 2, you perform subtraction, Abi. So you'll be using those conditions like that. Is that clear enough? Thank you for banking with us. We meet tomorrow. Right now we would going for a break. So we'll be going for a break by 2:13. So this is 1:13. So by 2:13, we should all be in there for the next phase. Thank you. God bless you. Okay, please, you can go, please pack your laptops, pack your systems, because we want to change this sitting. I grouped us yesterday, right? I gave us number yesterday. So if you don't have number, when you come back, we'll give you.